Hi everybody, I'm Helen. This is Think Differently Thursday again. I think we've been doing this almost a year now, which is brilliant. And every week I love it, and there's always someone different to talk to. And today my guest is Lois. Hi Lois.
Hello.
Are you doing okay today?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. I normally say, oh, I know you, but other people might not. And I actually don't know you very well. So I'm really looking forward to chatting to you and just literally finding out lots about you. But just give us like a little brief introduction to who you are.
Hello, I'm Lois. I'm 20 and I've been part of the Forge for a long time, like forever for me.
20 years probably, almost, is it?
Yep, probably around about then.
Yeah. And so I know that I'm not speaking to you at home. Where are you right now?
I'm currently in Winchester, so I'm studying at uni and I'm in my house in Winchester.
Okay. So is this halls, or are you in a house? What are you in?
I'm in a house at the moment, so I'm in my second year. So
Right.
I've moved in with people who I guess I wanted to, rather than kind of the random halls thing.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so you're in a second year. So I'm trying to work out what that means. That means then that you started uni and everything was normal, and then you must have got to this time last year and it all went a bit wrong, and presumably you came home.
So about I came home the Thursday before lockdown happened.
Right.
Angry with the whole, do I bring everything home? Do I leave half it here? Because I was supposed to be on placement after the Easter holidays.
Okay.
And we're like, I don't know. And we're like, let's take it all home. It's so much easier to bring it all home and then take a few stuff back in case. So then I came home, and then coming home for 4 weeks, whatever, ended up for a very long time.
Yeah. And so you've gone back into your second year in a house with friends, and a very different experience, I guess. I mean, it's got to be the weirdest time to be a student. And I guess you also, for people that have started studying like this academic year, they haven't necessarily got a comparison, but you had that first kind of uni experience, and then presumably this is all really different. How is being a uni student during COVID?
It's weird.
Yeah.
I think last year it was, I'd say it's weird anyway, because I went from being at home the whole time to then I went to uni.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a weird experience, like doing stuff by myself, all of that. And I was just starting to really enjoy it. And I was starting to make friends on my course and everything, because I just started to kind of go out more with my friends, and it was really nice. And I'm pretty sure the week before we went into lockdown, me and my friends ended up going out every day. Like it was like, really enjoying it. Went into a lockdown and it was like, oh, it'll be fine by September. And it wasn't, but actually I've been blessed by the fact that I'm not in halls, and I've actually chosen to live with the people that I'm living with, so I get along with them. And actually they're the friends that I hung out with last year.
Yeah, so they're people that you knew. You're not with strangers, which is what it would have been if you'd done it this year. Yeah, definitely. Oh my word. And so presumably doing lots of lectures online rather than going into uni?
So for me, I do primary ed, and it's considered a practical course.
Okay.
So when I first came back in September, it was like half online, half not.
Right.
So there's like a difference between lectures and seminars. I'm not gonna, but like lectures were all online, and then most of my seminars were in person.
Okay.
It was like they reduced class sizes, so we had that for a bit. And then I think when we came back in January, I went on a virtual placement, which wasn't the best thing I've ever done. So it was...
No, because primary teaching is so hands-on and so practical. How do you do that kind of remotely?
Well, I mean, I didn't have any children and I didn't have a school. It was just not the best experience. But I had that for a bit, and then because of the lockdown, we were all online. But then since schools have come back, kind of that time, I've now been on face-to-face. So most of my stuff is face-to-face at the moment.
Right.
It's nice to see people again, but it's quite weird as well.
It must be. And I mean, I was going to say, do you feel like you're missing out? Is there a degree of sort of resentment about what you're missing?
Sometimes it's quite hard because I think sometimes I'm missing out my uni experience. Second year is, people say, it's supposed to be your best year. It's that you've made friends and it's not the massive stress year, so it's kind of meant to be your best year. And sometimes do you know what, that sucks, like I'm not being able to develop my friendships, can't really go out as much, but actually the whole world is kind of in the same position. And I do feel like I'm quite lucky in the fact that like I am living with people who I like, and I'm still able to go on walks with people. So I don't know, I don't try to dwell on the fact that I'm missing out. I'm just trying to, I'm someone who tries to make the most in every situation. So I'm like, do you know what, I can't meet up with them and do that, but we can do this instead. And just
that's a great attitude. And I think you're right, there's something about, isn't there, that actually everyone's going through it, and so we're all living this experience together, aren't we? And it sounds like you're finding positives with it as well. I think I've tried to look at it a bit like that, and I know everyone's experience is different, isn't it? And for some people it's meant time has been different, it's been busier, or money's been really short. For me, it's some of the pace of life has changed, I think, because, you know, I would often be out each evening and all of that stopped happening. So I think for me, pace of life has changed, and I definitely want to take that going forward. So would you say that there are positives for you about this experience? You've said it's good that you're living with people that you knew. Yeah,
I think as a whole, like, I think everyone has learned something this year, if it's like about themselves or about anything. But I've definitely like not gained skills, but I love walking now. And I used to like walking and I would walk quite a lot, but now I'll just I'll walk quite a lot now, and I'll walk there. It'll be like really fun. I really love walking at the moment. And also I feel like because it's been more, I've not always been able to hang out with people, I've like learned to like my own company, which I never would have said that. I rest with other people, if that makes sense. If I've had a stressful day, I want to go out and be busy with people, but actually having to kind of live with the same 4 people who we don't always want to hang out all the time, and then be like, well, there's nothing, I can't do anything with people, like what do I do? But actually going, no, Lois, you can hang out with yourself. It's quite nice, like learning, I guess, to like love my own company and stuff.
That so resonates with me. Literally, I would say those same words. I've loved walking. I have loved discovering paths and fields and things that are just literally down the road. And if I get to like late afternoon in the day and I haven't had a walk and got outside, I kind of feel like, oh, I've got to get out, I've got to go and get some fresh air, which is not something I was like before. And similarly, I would have thought I would go stir crazy being in. I just always thought I just loved being out and seeing people and socializing. And similarly, I've just like, really enjoyed just time at home. Isn't it funny? Because we would never have known, would we? Incredible. So you said that you're teacher training. So is that something that you always wanted to do? Was that like a dream of yours from a young age?
Yeah, but I think as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a teacher. Like they've asked us those in like our seminars, but what did you want to do when you grow up? And I was like, well, I wanted to be a teacher. I was like, that's all I ever wanted to do. So Why do you think that was? What were the influences for you? Well, my mum's a head teacher and she was a teacher. And I think that did have quite a big impact on that. Cause I guess I saw her teaching. And I think I did psychology, like my mum was my role model, wasn't she? So I kind of looked up to her in that way. But mum always said if she didn't think I could do it, she would put me off it. So that's a compliment. She said like, oh, she knew I could do it. And I think that, but also as a child I really liked school. I really enjoyed school, always wanted to go, and I think I've like always loved learning, like in really fun and creative way. So I think that's probably where influence.
Did you I'm a primary school teacher too, and so my brother would tell people that I used to make him play schools with his friends so that I could be the teacher and he had to do the lessons. Did you used to make your brother and sister do schools?
No, my brother and my sister are a lot bossier than me. I couldn't have got away with that.
You couldn't have been the teacher.
I would have got away with that.
So tell us about family life then. So you've mentioned your mum, who's the head teacher. I know your dad's him, and you've got a brother and a sister. So what do you think, or what are you missing about home, or what are you not missing about home?
I think last year, my first year, I didn't miss home at all. I never phoned home. Mum would phone me. I haven't phoned in a week and just get really mad. But I didn't phone home. I didn't really go home much.
Right.
At all. And then
was that a surprise to you? Did you think you would settle that well?
I don't think it was that I settled. I was just like, I do like my family. They're nice people. I was like, oh, new life, and just wasn't really that bothered about going home. People always told me don't go home until Christmas anyway.
Right.
So I wasn't planning on, because if you go home, you won't want to come back.
Yeah.
And then I came home, obviously, during lockdown, and actually me and my family were hanging out quite a bit.
Of course.
Every time mum came home from work, and we'd go on like a walk out together, and because we were in lockdown, we were bored. We did like crazy golf inside. We were doing all the Forge lockdown challenges as well. We were doing TikToks together. We were doing lots of stuff together as a family, and it wasn't just families who I lived with. It was actually the people who I could only hang out with. And definitely coming back this year, I've definitely phoned my parents a lot more.
Right.
I think because it is a harder year.
Yeah.
And I think I actually like them now. I hope they don't.
So that's interesting that had quite a knock-on effect then. All that sort of concentrated time together has kind of made you feel a bit differently. I guess it could go one of two ways, can't it, really? What do you think they would say about you? What would they be missing about you being around?
Well, mum and dad miss everything because I'm the favourite. I think mum misses talking to me. The other night we phoned and we ended up calling for an hour. That's really unknown. If anyone knows how long I phone mum for, it's 20 minutes.
Right.
So an hour. But
you had lots to catch up on.
Yeah, I think because I now resonate more with mum with teaching and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
This way, did you know this kind of thing?
Yeah.
We talk a lot more, and but then Karis and Noah, I don't really know what they think. I don't know. Sometimes I think me and Karis are best friends, but she rarely agrees.
How much younger than you is she?
She's 2 years younger than me, and then Noah's 4 or 5 years younger than me.
So. Yeah. So you as a family are and have been really actively involved at the Forge. So for you in growing up, how was that being part of a family that were heavily involved? I think I grew up in a Christian family, and I think I didn't always like it. I think I felt like it was quite a dominant thing in our family, but I think I found it a bit embarrassing. I think how did you kind of find it?
I think I quite liked it.
Right.
Looking back, I think because my family was so involved, like my dad did youth and my mum did some of the kids work and stuff, I think we then went to church every week, which meant that I had the same friends when I was in kids church, and I really enjoyed going to church. And I think because I was going to church every week and it was so part of my life, I've never been afraid to share my faith. People knew my whole life that I went to church. I think in that way it was just a lot easier, and also it was nice knowing people at church as well. I think I remember every time I used to go to Tesco in Stowmarket, my friends would be like, oh, who's Lois going to know today? Someone in Tesco in Stowmarket. So
it kind of made the world bigger for you as well, more friends and contacts. Interesting.
Nice.
And so church was a very big part of growing up and family life. So did you come to a point yourself where you decided that you wanted this faith that your parents had? You wanted to become a Christian?
I do remember one time when I was in kids' church and I decided I wanted to become a Christian, but actually, looking back, I don't think that was like the actual moment. I don't know. I think it's like more of a development for me. Like I'd say, oh yeah, I became a Christian then, and I decided, yeah, I'm gonna take this on. But actually, like looking back, I don't think I really actively made more like conscious decisions until I kind of came to uni.
Okay.
I think I worked quite hard during like my schooling years, and I just think in my head I was like, oh, I don't have time for Jesus. I don't have time. It was not the right mindset. If anyone's watching, it's not the right mindset. But when I came to uni, it was, oh, I can find my own church. I can get involved with the CU, and I have a lot more time on my hands. And I think then I kind of made the active decision that actually, like, this is what I wanted. Like, I wanted to go to uni and kind of be like the Jesus follower, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's really interesting, because I think when you've grown up with something and it's a very integral part of family life and what you do, I think, yeah, sometimes it is difficult to separate out whether you're doing it because it's your choice or it's what your family do. So yeah, I think that's really interesting, that actually coming to a point of I'm claiming this for my own and I'm making my own decisions here and finding my way with it. What have you found? You said that you've always been quite open about that part of your life. What have you found in making new friends at uni? Do you find nowadays, because I think people are much more open to spirituality nowadays, I think a lot of people would actually claim to have some degree of faith, whether that be faith as we would understand it. Have you found that as you've met people are kind of receptive to what you're saying about faith, or is there a sort of resistance? What do your peers kind of make of you being a Christian?
I think my kind of generation, my age, not just my age, I think we're quite open and really accepting of like everyone and everything.
Yeah.
So like as a Christian, I've never, like personally, I haven't really ever received hate. Like as a child, I did like the silly stuff, but at uni, I really haven't. And I feel really comfortable to share what I thought with my peers and with my friends, because I know that I'm not gonna get hated on for it. I know they'll be open and we can have like adult conversations about it. And because I know I would listen to what they had to say. I wouldn't just like impose my views, and it would be more of a discussion kind of thing. I just think people are really open to it.
I think that's really great. I think you have a lot of difficult stuff in growing up nowadays, but I do agree. I think there's that kind of, as you say, an acceptance to people having opinions and faith and different philosophies about life. Interesting. And so I'm guessing that actually getting involved and connected with a lot of stuff at uni right now is tricky. But had you connected with a church, or are you part of a church at uni?
Yeah, no, I managed to get involved with church. So I kind of straight away, the CU, the Christian Union at my uni, held like a church search where they kind of meet at the uni and you'd walk down and go to different churches. And I think by the first week I decided, I went to like 2 churches on the first day.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, this is the one I want to go to. And it is so different from the Forge.
Is it?
But it's
so what attracted you to it then? What was it about it?
The student stuff was really nice.
What, they made you food?
Yeah, no. The student, it was just really friendly. Like when I went, I mean, they did have a barbecue. I think you'll get another barbecue, and I was like, right, sold. No, I think the student stuff was just really nice. They were really friendly, and I just felt really at home when I went there. And I just thought, like this is where I want to be. And it was kind of in my head, it was, don't pick the first church you see, but don't take weeks, because you don't want to join a church 4 weeks late and everyone's already made friends. I think, like, looking back, I definitely made the right decision. Like I can see that the church that I'm at has given me like so many opportunities and has really like helped me grow and develop as a person. So I'm really glad that I did choose it.
That's really great. Fantastic. And I know that you've managed to, at the same time as doing that, stay connected with the Forge as well, haven't you? How have you done that? In what ways are you connected with us?
Last year, my first year, I wasn't really that connected with the Forge. Like, I was connected through Nikki Thomas, so she was kind of, I guess, like keeping an eye on me while I was at uni.
That's really nice. Shout out to Nikki.
Shout out to Nikki. She was just like, just messaging me, making sure I was okay. We were like, had a few calls and
lovely.
Like, we'd meet up, which was really nice. And that was kind of my link to the Forge while I was away. But then over lockdown, I was watching the Forge. Obviously, my family, we were all watching it together. And then when I came back to uni, I was I quite like the Forge. And Forge are in the morning and Christchurch are in the evening. So so I've been able to watch I've been able to watch Forge, get involved with that, which has been really nice.
That's so good. And I think, again, that's just like, none of us knew we were going to live through this time. None of us knew that we were going to be doing church the way that we've been doing it. And yet the fact that we have has meant that you don't need to be at home to be able to connect with us and to tap into what we're doing. That's just brilliant. And I know you went along to Zoe's group as well, didn't you? Her justice group, which again was just brilliant. Just doesn't matter where anybody is, but you can just tap in. Was that good? What would you say you took away from that justice group?
No, I've really enjoyed being part of this group. So I think like within the last year, I think I've like had a real passion for social, but like mainly environmental justice. And I've just, it's become a lot more like apparent, and I've been like researching loads, and like with the help of my dad, like we've both kind of be making changes at home, which we can do. And when the groups was getting advertised, I was at home, I think maybe it was over Christmas, and I was like, could I join one of these groups? I was like, they're online. I was like, I definitely could. Like, I was back at uni, I'd really want to, like, that'd be really nice to. And I was looking through them, and the justice one that Zoe was leading, I was like, I think this is something that I want to do. And it was just kind of, it's given me like more knowledge on like different areas, because before I was a lot more environmental justice and kind of looking at more the climate change kind of angle. But actually doing this course has kind of opened my eyes to like different areas as well, and it's given us like practical tips, but also as a group we've been able to pray together and be like really honest, vulnerable, but also like accountable. So sometimes someone will be like, look, can you really pray for this? Like I don't know, for example, I can't really think of anything. I don't know, like I keep buying loads of clothes, please help me. And then like we'll like check up on each other, and it's been like it's just been really nice to kind of hold each other accountable on things that we all care about.
That's so good. It's just so good that you joined. Brilliant. And not only have you watched services and joined groups, but you even serve with the Forge from a distance, don't you? You are amazing. In fact, we're talking about serving coming up next Sunday. Like, you're just a great example. Tell us how you serve from a distance.
So I do like the chat on the Facebook. I don't really know. I'm not really that techie, so I'm not really sure how I managed to land myself. But I sit there and I respond in the chat, in the comments, and that's definitely it's been, sometimes it's quite challenging, but it's really helped me grow and develop. Like, I don't think it was it's not easy for me, but I really enjoy doing it, and I'm glad I do. It's really fun.
It's great.
It just enables me to serve the church even though I'm so far away,
which is amazing. And I know Ben speaks really highly of you and the role that you have with that as well. Definitely, so good. I was going to ask you about, I think just because it's like been so on my mind, and just because of the news recently, and you're a young woman and you're living away from home, and of course we all heard the shocking news recently about Sarah Everard being murdered, and just how awful that is. Has that made you, in your position, be more careful? Are they kind of being extra vigilant at uni right now? Has it made a difference?
I think for me, like, ever since I've been at uni, like my dad always said, oh, you're not walking home alone, you're never going to walk in the dark. And that's kind of something that he's always told me, but I was always like, oh, it won't happen to me kind of thing. Like that's not, yeah, I was always quite like naive to it. And I think a lot more like recently as like housemates will be more, oh, when are you gonna come back? Like if we'll go out. So as I say, like I like walking, like both Laura and I, one of my housemates, really enjoy walking. We'll always be like, oh, make sure you're back before it's dark kind of thing. If you're watching the sunset or that kind of thing, or make sure your phone's on you. And it's just being kind of more
it's
careful.
so interesting, isn't it? Because all those things you're saying, like your dad saying don't walk anywhere on your own, and you saying to your friends be back before dark, and have you got your phone, these are all the things, aren't they, that are really being discussed. Because, and I've talked to Zoe about it a lot, they're just part of what it is to be a woman, aren't they? They are just things that we do, we talk about, we check on our friends in a way that blokes aren't even necessarily aware that is how we live. Do you think it is just part and parcel of being a woman? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think for me, I don't think I realized it was just women doing it. I think when I always thought it was quite similar to when I just learned how to drive. My dad would like, oh, text me when you get there. And that obviously was nothing to do with what we're talking about now. That was more of so I don't crash my car.
Yes.
And it was kind of, so I thought it was, it's quite similar to, text me when you get back, just in case anything happened on my walk home. It wasn't just from what we were talking about, but actually I think with all this happening in the news, it's made me a lot more aware. I think I don't think I think I was quite like, because I'm quite a positive person, I think I forget that there are not very nice people in the world. And it has made me more worried. I think like the other night I was like out, not by myself, but I was like, we were out and I was like, oh, getting a bit worried, or should I be walking home by myself kind of thing. And actually I think me being worried, I can't decide if it's a good thing or a bad thing, if you know what I mean. As in, if before I was quite, oh, it's not going to happen to me, but now because of all this news coverage and it's all online, I'm kind of double thinking myself like, oh, should I be doing that? Should I not? And actually I can't decide if it's good for me to think like.
I know, it's a fine line, isn't it, between like sort of defiance and I'm going to do this and I'm not going to be scared, but actually, and foolishness. It's just such a fine line, isn't it? Yeah, really tricky, but I guess it's brought it all to the surface in our minds again, hasn't it? Excuse me. I was going to ask you if you're obviously going into a teaching career. So are you the sort of person that has like a life plan? Have you got that mapped out? You know, are you following in your mum's footsteps? Are you heading towards head teacher, or are you the sort of person that just like see where it goes and what opportunities kind of come up? What are you like?
I do love a plan. Anyone who knows me knows I love a plan, but I think life is something you can't really plan. So I do know what I want to do after you. So I do want to move back home for a bit and then do like my NQT year at home with my mother. Yeah. But then I've got to do two NQT years just because of the whole COVID thing.
Have you?
I'm pretty sure that's what Mum said the other day.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because we've lost placement time. They've just said they want to kind of, I guess, keep an eye on us for 2 years rather than one.
Because my son was doing his NQT year last year, and I think they just extended it into the next term, that something like that, I think. So that's really interesting. 2 years of it.
Yeah, so I want to stay at home for that, and then after that, who knows? I guess it kind of depends where I'm at. Like if I want to move out, I probably will want to move out by that point. I don't know, but I guess it kind of depends where I'm at with life and if I where I want to go.
Do you want to be a head teacher?
Definitely not. My mum is really good at her job, but it seems really stressful. She does an amazing job. But she always says she misses teaching.
I was going to say, I think it's not teaching. It is more like a business job nowadays, I think, if you're in management in education.
yeah, I think I'll stick to the teaching. If we don't know what happens, I haven't got a fixed plan, but I'm not planning on it.
So do you, as a Christian, here's a big question, do you think and believe that God has a plan?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I think definitely this year it's been really obvious. I think when I thought, I was like, oh, this is going to happen, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and God's kind of gone, no, I don't think you are, kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I think I've got to this point where we can't really set these plans. I think we just need to give everything over to God, and he can make decisions. Like when I'm praying now, it's not, oh, please can this happen, but like, oh God, like, please can you be in this situation, and like, can your will be done with this, rather than kind of me making my own decisions. Actually, like listening to God with that. And I think that I've been reading a lot about like purpose as well, which I don't think is the same as like a plan for my life, but actually looking at, oh, what is my purpose for my life and stuff, and actually kind of like listening to God and like to my calling through that as well.
That's really interesting. It has been really interesting chatting to you. It's been really lovely for me because as I said, I don't know you, and it's just been really, really lovely to find out a bit more about you. Thank you for chatting to me. Just as a last question, I know that you're in touch with some people at the Forge, but I also think, you know, lots of people will listen to this and be really interested to hear how you're doing and what uni is like for you and other students at the moment. And I think, you know, we've got lots of people that love to pray, and people will want to pray for you and, you know, other uni students. What would you say are the biggest kind of issues that face you guys right now? How can people pray for you?
I think the first one's probably loneliness. I know a lot of people in first years who are in halls who just, they don't know their housemates. Either they don't get along, or they didn't want to live with them, and they're just, sometimes they just feel like they're just in their room the whole time, they're eating by themselves, and obviously they can't mix with anyone. But also those who aren't in halls, like in houses as well, you are living with the same 4 people. It can be quite full on. So I think, definitely loneliness. Also I think mental health at the moment. I think that really need prayer for that. I can see a lot in students when we all when I'm getting together with church and stuff. That's definitely really prominent. And then also I as on CU, like I'm on the committee at CU actually.
That's great.
Like with that, just pray with that we can really, specifically for Winchester, if you want to pray there, just really that we can outreach to people on our campus, just kind of like really support those who are on our campus, and really outreach to those and just share God's love, because it's so difficult during this time. That CU's purpose is to share the love of Jesus on your campus. That's basically the vision of a CU, and it's we just find it really hard to kind of reach people when we can't physically reach people. So really value prayer with that as well.
Oh, that's really great, and that would be really helpful. I know people will be really, really pleased to pray for you. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. It's been just lovely to chat to you and to hear more about what your life is. So thank you. I'll let you get back to whatever's next for you, which is what? Have you had your dinner yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna have chips, sausages, eggs, and spaghetti hoops.
That sounds really studenty.
Normally, I felt like I needed. My Wi-Fi only got fixed today, so I feel like I deserve it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh well, I'll let you get off to your lovely meal. Thank you so much for chatting, Lois. Really nice to talk to you. See ya. Bye.
Bye.